I guarantee you that's a lawnmower transmission.
Yeah.
You'll never know it.
Yeah, just a
Except
little
for
bit.
video proof. I'm gonna cut the frame. It'll be fine. On today's episode of Cars and Cameras, we're going to show you how clouds are made with our Model T go-kart.
That's right, we are building the first ever go-kart designed just for burnouts, using our very rare 50-year-old Model T parade car. We built a lot of fast projects recently, it's time to slow it down. But in order to get these big, heavy meats spinning, we're going to need to build possibly the first ever line lock system for a go-kart. We might even need some kind of lubrication system for our tires. We're also going to need to swap on a spicier engine, a 25 horsepower Tillotson 225, as well as a new driveline system that will withstand the abuse. So by the end of today's episode, we're going to have this thing built out, hopefully doing some big old burnouts.
Oh, I know it will.
Just like in the last episodes of this build, preserving the originality of the frame is very important. So we're going to need to do all these part swaps with as little modification to the frame and body as possible. So the guys are going to get started removing the axle and the very interesting driveline system we have, and then they're going to move on to the line lock.
Mike, you got a Model A, don't you?
I've got 3 Model A.
You have 3?
Yep.
I've never worked on a Model T, but would this be considered a Model T.5?
I think it's a Model T.0.
Oh.
0.5.
Oh, 0.5. Oh, yeah.
Going down, Charles.
Yep, clear.
You about ready to pull the engine on this thing?
Yeah, it's ready to go.
Cool. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is remove the rear axle. The only thing holding this rear axle in is some baling wire. Now think about it. We did 22 miles per hour with this thing with just baling wire holding the rear end in. It's a weird system. We've got a couple of bushings holding the axle in, and they're floating. And the baling wire is at the bottom of the hanger for the floating bushings. I'm gonna cut those out, and this rear end should just drop right on out. As soon as Charles takes the rear band brake loose. Isn't that cute? I guarantee you that's a lawnmower transmission.
Looks like something from the snapper.
Yep. Yes, sir. Got it.
So this is your traditional like band brake, squeeze brake drum. But this is the one that was on that. And look at that. It is a solid chunk of steel. No weight reduction on this one. I'm mocking up this Go Power Sports live axle. Gotta say, I love the versatility of these things because they come with, you know, whatever width axle you need. They come with bearings, bearing hangers, hubs, brakes, sprocket hubs. They've got it. And look, it's almost a direct bolt-in to this old parade cart.
So to go with our live axle kit, we have our split sprocket hub, so we can change our gearing whenever we feel like, whatever conditions. We also have our drum brake with adapter. That way we can adapt our original brake system to the live axle kit. And all these parts you can get links in the description of the video. Next up, some really cool wheels that we're going to be putting on the front of this go-kart. So these are pretty sweet. This is a finished product. right here. These are 8-inch rims. I can't remember what the name of these rims are, but they have all different styles. They have like the old Krager style looking rims. They have these. They also have, what else is it? Anyhow, a whole slew of different rims that you can pick for your go-karts. This can be used on the front, or you drill out these holes and they have sprockets that'll mount straight to these for the drive wheels. So look them up. Again, links in the description of the video. So put these tires together. It's really, really simple. The only thing you really have to look out for is pinching the tube.
We've all been there too.
Oh yeah, so really be careful. I like to go ahead and tuck the tube out of the way, so whenever I go to put this other tire on, like right now, it is, there it is, it is donezo. So there is a little notch right here in the rim. You got to make sure that lines up perfectly with the valve stem. Really easy. These are really sweet wheels.
Oh, they're gorgeous, dude.
There we go. And you can actually feel it when they go together. And you can hear it too. It's got that sound to it.
We'll get this sprocket hub slid on, because I'm thinking it's gonna have to go right next to the brake.
That was my thought.
Yeah, which is okay. Then we got the brake drum and adapter. These things are nice.
So versatile too.
Yeah, and you can put a sprocket on these hubs too.
Or a disc brake,
yeah,
whatever, man. There are a lot of
I mean,
options.
They've got all kinds of stuff that'll go on them. I wish I would have had some of this stuff when I was building things back in the day.
All right, just to let y'all.
Stole our wheels.
Yeah, John lives in a really bad neighborhood. Someone stole the wheels. In fact, they did the worst thing. Instead of putting it on blocks, they put these things on there.
Stole the lug nut.
We could at least use the locks, or the blocks, excuse me. Nah, what happened was the rail, we're doing more work to the rail. We stole the front wheels off the rail and put them on this thing, but now we're working on the rail again. So, perfect time to break these beautiful.
Oh wow, look at that.
Isn't this nice?
Literally an upgrade.
It really is.
Looks really nice on the old Model T as well.
Oh, there you go. You got it.
Yeah, I got it. Look at that. That looks so good, dude.
It's got SS wheels on it now.
So we're going to be doing a little bit of welding. It's going to be on the frame. We're welding in hangers in place, but I don't feel so bad. We're not cutting anything out, and anything we weld on that, we can grind smooth again.
Yeah.
And you'll never know it.
Yeah, just a
Except
little
for
bit.
video proof.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Charles, after you, buddy.
Alrighty. Cover.
Yep. So we've got our 225 big dog here. We're talking about big valve. This thing is built. And if you don't know anything about this engine, check it out right here.
Other side.
I mean right here. And it's a pretty cool video. So this thing ought to give us plenty of power to turn them back tires over like we want.
Cover. I don't think we cleaned this side.
I cleaned it.
Oh, okay. It smells like it's dirty.
It's clean now.
Yeah. That's exactly what it's going to be looking like, but it's going to go the other way. Oh yeah. And then just imagine the smoke coming off of this thing. All right, so now that we have the axle in place, we're going to remove the engine, and we're going to figure out where we're going to put the engine plate and the sprocket on this thing. So I guess I'll go ahead and say it. We're going to be cutting the frame for where the sprocket's going to be at.
He said it, not me.
I know. But the beautiful thing about metal is you can cut it, you can weld it, you can smooth it out. No one's going to know that anything had happened if we want to go back.
And we're not starting with a numbers matching
No.
Model T parade car. It's
No,
It's been hacked all up. The floor rotted
the floor's
out.
rotted out, and
They patched it. They put a custom footprint gas pedal in there. Took 6 months in the shop, like
that was
Joe
pretty
Dirt.
cool. You know, and the rear fender's broken, and there's really thick body work underneath the fender that's coming apart. So it's not like it's a show piece anyway. So I'm gonna cut the frame. It'll be fine. So what we're figuring out here is where the engine's going to be placed back here, and we got to have room for the sprocket. We're going with the really big sprocket here because we need to be able to turn these big old tires. Of course, if the gearing's too high, we could always go with a shorter tire.
That's true.
Yeah. So anyhow, and we are going to have to cut. I was saying earlier, we're going to have to cut the frame. We're going to have to cut a section out right here for the sprocket to clear. But first, we're going to be welding in some pieces up top here, so we can make a engine plate up high and strengthen the frame up some. And we're just going to be tacking it in places. We can grind all this stuff back out.
Cover.
Yep.
All right, that is just tacked in,
We've
which is all I want.
definitely tested the structural integrity of a tack.
Yeah.
It's about 10 pounds. Sometimes 20.
Cool.
Oh yeah, nice. Give a demonstration of it sliding back and forth. Well, you get the picture. There we go. Fine adjustment. Oh yeah, sorry headphone users.
There we go.
Yeah, I'd say that motor plate's good for like about 40 pounds.
40 pounds?
Yeah. 10 pounds per tack weld, dude. Oh my goodness. All right, never
I'm
mind.
190.
We are already gonna have to remove that piece of angle iron.
Yeah.
We just welded this one in. If we clock it back that way, what we just welded in is obsolete. Oh wow, so we do need to go up quite a bit with the engine. Maybe just, well, what I was saying is, like, if we try and go up with the torque converter,
Then it'll hit the bottom of the...
yeah, it's gonna hit down
yeah.
there.
All right, so I got the torque converter in place. I have the engine sitting here, and all of a sudden I'm realizing I'm having issues with placing the sprocket and torque converter and chain and all that stuff. We're having to go for really big sprocket because these are some really big tires, and we want the power to be able to spin these tires over. What I'm gonna have to wind up doing is the sprocket fits right down in here, and you can see this is only half the sprocket. I've got to cut the frame for the sprocket to pass. And it looks like we're gonna have to trim, we're gonna have to trim that piece that I put in too.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. So we're running into a bunch of issues. Charles, I hope you're having better luck than me, dude.
Well, as you guys know, the 225s don't come with gas tank mounts on top of the block. So what we've had to do is we've had to mount a pulse pump on top with we've relocated a spun aluminum tank gasser style on the front bumper. I've got the fuel line ran down the fuel rail, poking all the way back to here. So I've almost got that plumbed, but if you need my help, I can stop on that. Just let me know.
Keep on going, buddy.
All right, man.
I got this.
You just want to catch everybody up.
Yep. So here's the moment that I've been dreading this whole time. I can't say no T's were harmed in the making of this video. I can't say that.
Just remember, the floor pan was already rusted out.
Yeah. Time for the first incision.
Yep. Scalpel. Oh boy.
I'm about to incise.
Oh.
Time for the incision. There's the piece. Now we should have better clearance for the sprocket. I'm still gonna have to trim the brand new one that I put in.
Oh boy. Which one? Oh yeah, look at that.
So turning this Model T into a burnout machine is quite a bit more involved than we thought. Between the engine modification, beefing up the frame so it can actually handle it, and then our line lock and lubrication.
This is basically a glorified lawnmower frame that we're trying to put close to 30 horsepower on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention to y'all that want some struts going from the
Oh,
rear
that's right.
bearing
Yeah, I remember
hangers.
that. Yeah, going up to the front frame.
Yeah,
we got to do.
because with the way they're built, if it gets a lot of traction, it's going to just bend them things. It's going to go.
Is it like trailing arms?
Yeah.
We need trailing arms front and rear on this thing so the axles don't
Yeah.
come
Yeah,
together.
we don't want them to meet.
So yeah, we need trailing arms in the rear. Ike was talking about installing some trailing arms in the front because check this out.
Yeah.
This already bends, and if you think about it, if we have a line lock system, it's only going to be trying to fold that front front
The
subframe.
wheelbase is going to get shorter and shorter as it just starts to bend.
Exactly. So we need some front trailing arms just to add support, and we still need to come up with our line lock system. So I cut these pieces out on the Crossfire Pro. We have a front license plate mount too.
Oh.
But all that to say that we're not going to have our line lock and lubrication system set up today. But what we are going to do today is get our Tillotson 225 big valve engine mounted in there, and we're going to take it for a test drive, maybe chain it up to our lift, and still make some big clouds anyway. We just won't have line lock today. That'll be in a separate part.
We had to relocate the fuel tank up front, kind of gasser style, because we don't have mounts for that engine. So we have kind of a pinch bracket, but we've made it into a front license plate to hide.
It looks so cool.
Yeah, to hide everything, and I put a little piece of painted red aluminum in the back, just sandwich it in there.
Yeah, so that's going to act as our gas tank mount, so we don't have to modify that front bumper, and it's a cool front plate. And we cut that out on our Crossfire Pro.
Oh yeah, man, look at that. So cool.
We're actually a partner with Langmuir Systems, who makes the Crossfire Pro, so if you're interested in picking up a Crossfire or Crossfire Pro CNC plasma table, you can use our code in the description to get $100 off your order from Langmuir Systems, and it helps to support Cars and Cameras as well.
Okay, so I've got the motor in place, motor mount pretty much as straight as it needs to be, right where I'm getting ready to tack it front and back, chains in line, and yep, and the motor plate, I've notched it so that way there are 4 bolts in the motor right now, so that way we know this is going to stay where it is. So I'm going to go ahead and get my helmet, tack this motor plate in, and I guess go from there. I know I need to finish welding up what we all have back here, and then I need to make track bars for the rear and the front, but we'll get to that later. But let me get my welding stuff. All right, so got the track bars tacked in front and rear. We're gonna need to raise the frame up and remove the wheels to fully weld them in. Well, let's take a look what we got. This ought to keep the back wheels from walking forward, or at least help, don't you think?
Yeah, man. I like the way that you went to the axle hanger.
Oh, yeah, the lowest point.
Yeah, and then you went to the center part of the car.
Kind of mimic to this original front end stuff, but
Yeah.
we're going to reinforce that as well, because look, it's already bent
Oh yeah,
up.
those bars are all bent up and stuff. Yeah. So, yeah.
And there you go. Look, not a primo.
No, it's terrible.
It's okay.
Terrible.
It's okay.
Right.
Hey, we're
so
working.
that does kind of mimic the old 30s model cars and
and
trucks.
kind of models what John's truck is, the C10. How they have those track bars on the axle.
So looking good, dude. Looking
Thanks,
good.
man.
Oh, nice.
I'm excited.
That's gonna look awesome on the front of this.
It's gonna be kind of tough to do this without dropping anything, but maybe somebody will give me a hand off camera.
Hey, I'll give you a hand.
Kind of reminds me of a old school car club license plate.
So, we were running a little bit behind, so we had to hire some extra help. We got old John here. So when Charles is finishing up on the front tank, looks great. It does. I'm gonna be working back here, and John is gonna be working technically under the hood of the car
Yeah.
for a gas pedal.
Throttle cable's bad.
Yeah, we need to be able to hit the gas pedal and have the engine go. You can also, if you have time, work on the brake too.
Okay. So I'm going to be moving the foot pedal forwards, which no big deal. Might need to weld in a longer piece of rod there, but more importantly, this gas pedal needs to be switched out. This is just a piece of threaded rod, and these two floor pieces aren't original, and like this is just some janky stuff. So I'm going to be installing a Go Power Sports throttle cable here. You need to make a stop down here, but I'm going to be removing this all thread completely, moving that pedal forward, and we should have gas and brake. This is the throttle linkage I just removed. It's just a big old piece of all thread that someone rigged up back in the day. We're going to be replacing it with this Go Power Sports throttle cable. This is one of their longer ones. I'll link it down in the description. It has the Mikuni style end on it. They can sell, well, they sell all types for Mikuni style carburetors or stock carburetor throttle linkage. But this is going to work for the Mikuni on our 225. So I'm going to run the end through the frame here, kind of like it was. And then this end needs to get mounted to the floor. And then also, well, and then the ball needs to get
Oh, we need something to attach that to.
zip ties, right?
Or one of those brass barrel. We'll figure it out.
Or barrel nut, yeah. And this end needs to get mounted to the floor so that this can get mounted to the pedal, and that's what pulls. So this one's curved 90 degrees. It's for a mini bike, but it'll work great in this instance. So in addition to modifying the gas pedal, we need to extend the brake pedal. So we move the brake all the way up here so that it's just more comfortable for our feet. And so I'm gonna cut this here. We're gonna mount it in there, and then we're gonna weld in an extended piece. And there's also this eyelet here, which helps guide the brake linkage. That's gonna need to be moved down as well. Cover. We got the engine cranked up. I gotta find out if it's gonna do some donuts in here. The brakes are non-existent.
We got a gas leak.
Did that look as cool as it
Yeah.
felt?
Yeah.
It looked really cool.
Sweet.
Once we got it going, it didn't want to stop.
Dude, good idea on
Yeah.
that, man. Yeah.
All
You
right.
guys gotta try it.
No. I'll do the burnout.
Yeah, this is all your stuff. I don't want to.
Oh, that was cool.
It looks so funny. It looks like an RC car.
Yeah.
Dude, you slung it over.
It was
I mean,
close,
Dude,
man.
I
Yeah.
was expecting the exhaust
Yeah.
to go wow.
Whack.
Oh yeah, wall tap the exhaust.
Yeah,
Oh well. Man, that was cool.
that
That
was
was
cool.
pretty
Good job, John.
Yeah,
That
You're
was
a
really
natural.
yeah.
That was insane. It does donuts. Now, will it do a burnout like we wanted? Okay.
Oh, we blowed out the belt?
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh! You'll be alright.
Oh, it's still good?
Yeah, I mean, it'll still do some more burnouts.
Oh.
Oh, well, it's
Here,
definitely
can I
losing
cut it?
its thickness.
Yeah. Here, there we go. Fixed.
Watch that. Okay. Alright, I got to take it out for a spin. Check
Yeah,
out.
cool off that engine.
It's got some pickup. Yeah. This thing is so sketchy at speed, it definitely needs to be a stationary burnout vehicle.
Yeah.
No doubt. So, awesome!
Yeah, good job, guys.
Alright. How about a three-way?
No.
Oh boy! So you just witnessed one of the most legendary burnouts in Cars and Cameras history. The Model T is coming back next Wednesday for the first ever go-kart line lock system that we're going to be installing, and then doing another massive burnout. The boys are down there working on the drag rail right now. We have a new CVT system going on it very soon. We're going to be stretching the legs on the Kawasaki KX80 we just picked up. I highly recommend you go watch Monday's video if you have not already. The Kawasaki KX80 is one of the most potent two-strokes I've ever ridden. It's definitely the most potent 80cc I've ever ridden. Very, very fast. So check out that episode. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you next time.
Dang. You okay down there?
I need another blade now. I mean, it was about wore out.